Well, I had to create Goggins because David Goggins was a weak kid. So I created Goggins. So the crucible of life that I decided to take to become who I wanted to become, I created Goggins. Goggins is the guy talking right now. David Goggins was a kid that got bullied and all these other things, and I created Goggins. I created a guy I was proud of. You're constantly looking. For me, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. I was on a journey to see who David Goggins was. And that journey took me in some of the hardest areas a human being can even imagine. And right now at 41, I'm the happiest person on the planet because, I had to climb Mount Everest several times just to look down on my life to see what hell I came from. And that's what kept me going through all this stuff. Like I envisioned myself going through, like when I was a young kid and they called me Grinby all the time. My dad beat the hell out of me and I had no self-esteem. I had this vision of if I can make it to where I want to go. Imagine when I look back on my damn life, how proud I will be. And now I'm here. I'm able to look back on this life I lived that many people will never understand because why? When you're passionate, they think you're crazy. And you can't even explain to people why you're doing or why you did what you did because you found your purpose. And once you found your purpose, you can't really explain it to normal people because they don't understand passion because they live everyday life just going, not really finding their purpose. So I become a foreign language to people. So they put me in the category of you're just crazy. No. I'm passionate. I found my purpose in this life. So how I think about it is when I made the decision, the conscious decision to become a warrior, I realized that my mentality had to be very different. And what that meant was I had to put myself through a bunch of crucibles to gain the warrior mentality. Some guys are born with it. I believe that. Some guys are just born because they have some great childhood and their dad's tough on them and they build this mental toughness and this discipline in this kid. I didn't have this, so I had to design a crucible to put myself through to gain this warrior mentality. So what I mean by warrior mentality, which is why some people take what I say so literally and they just say, my God, you're just crazy, you're gone. No, God had to put some people on this planet Earth to do very dangerous things to protect this country. Love it or not, I'm one of those people. So to have the mentality that I have, to be in a room that's 10 by 10, I have a weapon, I'm outside a door, I don't know what's behind that door. So our job as a SEAL, most of our job is to go behind, open a door and say, surprise, we're here. The thing about the surprise is I don't know what's behind that door. So to have that kind of mindset to say, I'm gonna look at AK-47 in the face repeatedly, you know what kind of mind it takes to open that door and not be afraid to shut that door and run away? I was building that callous mind through these things, bad waters, so even after I became a SEAL, I was still on the journey to become a better warrior.
Right.
And these races and all these events, it wasn't about being an ultra runner. I saw, first of all, it was about raising money, but also the selfish side of it all was I was building a warrior mentality by putting myself in the crucible of hell at mile 60 of a 135-mile race in Bedwater. What are you thinking? Blisters, shin splints, stretch fractures, peeing blood maybe? What are you going to do now, David? How are you going to get the next 70 miles in this race? A lot of people set these great goals, like they want to do Badwater, or they want to do an Ironman, or they want to be a millionaire, or whatever they want to do. They have these great goal lists, and they're amazing. Goals are important. But what we don't do in life, which is why people quit in SEAL training and they quit in these different things, we don't look at ourselves in the accountability mirror and take care of the number one thing before you start a goal. Let's take care of our insecurities, because they're going to surface when you put yourself in the crucible and you're suffering. You may be the best physically fit person on the planet. If you haven't handled your mind and handled your jealousies, your insecurities, whatever happened to you as a child and in between, they're going to surface at the time when your mind starts to question, why the hell am I out here in this race? What keeps a person in the fight is having purpose. Having purpose. Leave the ego at the door, because the ego will kill you every time. You will always quit. So that's why I've been able to get through things, because I know I was a scared, uneducated kid who stuttered and had zero. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and hold myself accountable for who I wasn't and who I wanted to be. None of it was external. I don't care about money. I didn't care about awards. I didn't care about medals. I didn't care about bad water. I don't care about ultra running. These were all things for me to build the internal in myself. Mm-hmm. So like people don't get it twisted, man. I did this to be proud of who I am as a human being. And most people live a lie. I hated the lie I lived. And the lie I lived was I was nothing, and I knew I was nothing. And my journey, I wanted to be something. I wanted to be proud of who I was, and it took me in that direction. Once you realize, why am I going to continue to do? I now know for 100% fact, I can do anything I want to do. I'm going to fail probably 1,000,000 times trying to do it, but I guarantee you one thing. You will then read about 20 years from now, David Goggins doing what he set out to do, and he failed for 20 years. You're reading the paper, that son of a bitch actually did it. Because I know I can. Now I figured out how a human being can endure more than what they think is possible. With nothing. Like, people think you need great parents, you need great education, all this stuff. They think you need to have all this stuff, and they have this thing like, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. If I had that mindset one damn time in my life, I'd be a 400-pound man spraying for cockroaches still.
Right.
So my whole thing is now, I know how to think properly to be successful in all kind of aspects of life. Mm-hmm. And it's not about ultra running. It's not about just being a SEAL. It's not about pull-up records or anything like that. It's about, if you want to be better, you have to change the way your perceived limitations, mm-hmm. and take the barriers down. Motivation is crap. Like right now, there's people out here right now who's going to hear this podcast, and maybe they'll think you can think whatever you want to about David Goggins. I don't care, because I know the truth. I know the truth. I know that my journey sucked, and I didn't like it. I didn't want to be a SEAL. I didn't want to be a Ranger. I'm afraid of heights. Uh-huh. I'm afraid of cold, dark water. That's why I was the only 36 African American in 70 years to become a SEAL.
Right.
Believe what you want. Think I'm crazy, because why you think this? Because you can't see yourself going further than what you can. So you want to put a tag on David Goggins? Well, tag me. I'm sorry to say, I say beyond motivated, because it takes that to be successful. I may motivate you right now. If you're living in Chicago and it's -2 degrees, and I motivated you to get out of your house and go run 2 miles, but that wind chill hits your face once you go outside, that motivation is going to go away real fast. Mm-hmm. You go back inside and sit your ass on that couch. A person that's driven and passionate, they go outside, feel that wind chill, they go back inside to get a new hat, because I'm going to get my damn running today.
Right.
Failure is just a word. For me, failure was me having more information on how to succeed. That's all failure became to me. So I failed so much. Pull-up records, running events, had to quit this, buds, Rangers, all this crap I had to go back through. All that was, I failed because of these reasons here. Go back to the drawing board, figure out the right equation, mm-hmm. put it together, go back, fail again. Oh, but I got more information. I'm in a very small category of warriors. real warriors. And I want to say that is a whole different mentality. So I've worked with people who had the courage to jump on grenades and kill themselves to save everybody around them. That's the kind of mentality it takes to be a SEAL. Does every Navy SEAL have it? No. But that's what SEALs are. That's what we try to, that's why Navy SEAL training BUDS is so hard. We're trying to find that person who's willing to go the distance. And the distance is your life. So when I'm talking to people right now, maybe what I say to you does not resonate because why? You're not willing to give your life for something. Every SEAL, at least most, I can't speak for everyone, most of us are. A lot of people who go fight for this country, a lot of them are not willing to do that. Am I talking bad about them? No, don't take it and twist my words. People like to twist words. I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for that. But a lot of people are scared. Navy SEALs are scared also. But a lot of us have a way to realize what we have decided to do with our lives. And it takes a great sacrifice, and that sacrifice could be your life. And that you have to be able to do that to become a warrior. If you go into combat scared, you can be scared, but you can't be so scared it makes you afraid to fight. If that makes sense. We're able to control that, and a lot of us are able to put ourselves in hell and become the devil. I get it. You have to have knowledge to be great at something, and to lose weight, to be a smart, you gotta have knowledge. Knowledge is power. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, how much damn knowledge do you need? You can go on the internet right now and figure out how to drop 5 pounds tomorrow. Everything is right there at your service. If you want it, you will achieve it. But if you want to waste time and figure out, ask all these fucking questions, I'm gonna give you the same answer. Stop asking the question and achieve what you want. If I asked a bunch of questions, I would still be trying to figure out how to run 100 miles. So many people tell me, I would love to run Badwater one day. Why the fuck haven't you done it? You told me that 5 years ago. I wonder, I had an idea to run Badwater. I did it in 4 months. I qualified in 4 days and ran the damn race. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, had to lose 105 pounds in 60 days to get in and do it. I lost the weight and became a damn SEAL. I wanted to be a Ranger at 41 years old. People go, what do you want to do next? I don't know. I've already done it. Because the second I thought about it, I researched it. I didn't ask questions. I achieved it. We waste tons of time not starting our journey for asking so many fucking questions on how to start the journey. Get an idea, start walking and figure the shit out as you go. Vision quest. So everything I was afraid of, I made sure to meet it right in the face and overcome it. Right now, what I'm working on now is learning how most people think. Because my whole thing, why I was hard for me to go on social media, because why people would give me this weak crap. And I absolutely cannot understand this freaking mentality. So I would just go off. Because I would go back to where I came from, and I would approach you in a way that was garanimal, animalistic. Like, what is wrong with, why don't you go somewhere in your mind where you find out who the hell you are? There's very few people, if any, that have done what you've done mentally. So I had to go back, and I'm always bettering how I think. People will change their car, they'll change their underwear, they'll change their husband, their wife, they'll change their diet, but very few people change the way they think. And that's why they always fuck themselves in life. They never change the way they think. Oh, my house is old, I don't get a new house, I'm gonna get a new pair of this or that. But the one thing we never change, why we always stay the damn same and never wonder why we're getting better, because we never change the way we think. I'm constantly changing the way I think. The core of who I am, I'll never change that. I'm proud of that. Warrior, Spartan mentality. But how I deal with people, how you can touch people, is you gotta know what they respond to. And everybody's responding to me saying, look, get the shit up, man. Stop being a little punk. I got to see what's wrong with you, think what I'm thinking, and then tell you not what you want to hear, but kind of what's going to motivate you. We're all motivated very differently. When you're passionate about something and someone's trying to tell you what you're thinking, like a lot of people, some people tell me, well, do you find love in your life, or are you happy with who you are? I can't really give you the thing, but what sets me off, or you set me off, was just, honestly, people reading into something because we overthink everything. Stop overthinking. It's like, get the hell out there and do it. But there's going to be times in my life where some people just need to hear something from a different person, because it may, like I said, thinking, it may change the way you think. If you ignore all those comments, which I do most of them, some of them you got to attack, because why? I might put a spark in your brain to maybe you may think to yourself, wow, that just changed my life.
Right.
So if you ignore all of them, you're ignoring the fact of why I am on social media.
Right.
To now tell you how I'm thinking and not just hear the weak sauce you have that you're bringing my way. I think it's important to not go too far with it, but I always have to make sure that my refrigerator is empty. And what that means is, yeah, I'm successful now. I've come to a point in my life where I'm very proud of myself. I love myself for all you people out there who don't think it. I'm very peaceful. I love what I've accomplished. I'm so proud of that. But at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen to a man is he becomes civilized. Once you become so civilized that you have everything you want, that warrior mentality that I'm so proud of, that I wasn't born with it. I had to go through the crucible of my life to acquire it. You always want to keep that thing sharp like a sword. So you don't have to sharpen it every day like you did when you were going to combat. But if you leave it alone for too long, it gets a little dull. And that's my mind. I always want to sharpen. I don't have to do these things every single day of my life. But you always got to go back and sharpen that sword every now and then to make sure that that mentality is still there and your refrigerator is still empty, because you always want to keep that edge. And that edge is what keeps you going forward. After every race, I was either in a wheelchair or whatever, because running with sickle cell is just not the smartest thing to do. Those distances. At mile 50 of every 100-mile race, man, I was destroyed. And I just had to but the feeling of the next 50 miles I had to go, I learned a lot about David Goggins in the wheel. It was always me against me. So no, I don't have any ability. And I'm not going to ever let anybody make themselves feel better by telling me that I was some genetic freak. I'm not going to make yourself feel better about that. I suffered. And I always say suffer because that's what I did. It was miserable. The races, every single race in Hell Week, in Buds, in Ranger School, I suffered tremendously. I should never have been able to do it, which is why I'm so proud of myself. I don't care what place I came in. I don't care I walked 105 miles of bad water. I did it. That was the journey. That was the mission. That was what it's about. It's not about, oh, well, this guy's just a freak. If that makes you feel better, that's fine. No, you can do it off just a breath of air in the right mindset. That's the message. So you watered down my message by putting me in a category of I'm crazy, I'm a freak, whatever. So I talked about my childhood, and if anybody thinks I'm some great person, listen to my childhood again. I had to change my thinking process, and basically the accountability mirror is what did it. I started shaving my head and my face when I was 16 years old, and I realized when I started shaving my face and my head, you have a lot of time to look at your reflection. And for something, it sparked in me. I'm like, man, a piece of crap. Like I ducked school. I barely am graduating. I'm this, I'm all these things, man. And I had to really tell myself the truth. And so many people, when you say you're dumb, the first thing people say, oh no, you're not. If you're dumb, you're dumb. If you're fat, you're fat. But if you're not willing to tell yourself that, and everybody around you in your circle continues to give you this positive feedback, if you suck, you suck. If you tell yourself you suck, that is when you become great. I gotta get to the surface of who I'm not. And I held myself accountable. I lied to this person today. I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm this, I'm that. And I tell myself, and I fixed these issues, and that part was hard. It was hard to not be jealous of this person who had this and this and this. I had nothing. It was hard to tell this person, yeah, I'm jealous of you. And I'm insecure. I'm a very insecure guy. And I have nothing. It was hard to look at all that. I'm not real smart. And I had to fix these issues. And the accountability mirror was, now I look at myself in the mirror and say, wow, you fixed these issues.